Reyna sits on the cold floor of a cramped Los Angeles apartment, clutching a dog-eared book to her chest. Outside, the city hums with a promise she can't quite touch yet. Her parents barely speak, an indifferent mother, an angry father, but in these pages, Reyna finds a secret doorway. What will it take for a girl from a broken home to dream not just of survival, but of becoming a writer? Her story is just beginning. Reyna's childhood in Michoacán and LA is rough, raw, and real. But out of trauma and silence grows a fierce hunger for more. In Michoacán, tiny Reyna watches her father's fury ripple through the house, leaving scars no one talks about. When they cross the border illegally to Los Angeles, she's 10 years old, navigating strange streets and strangers' cold eyes. Her mother, distant and exhausted, barely shields her. In this turmoil, Reyna steals moments to read borrowed books, Marquez, Cisneros, and scribble stories, building invisible worlds where she holds the power. Imagine you're lost at sea on a leaky boat, the storms howling, waves crashing. Writing becomes Reyna's lifeboat, unstable but steady enough to keep her afloat. Each word is a paddle stroke against the tide of neglect and fear. This is how dreaming survives poverty and abuse, not as escape, but as a weapon of survival, a compass pointing toward a different life. Against odds that could smother most kids, Reyna pushes through. She fights the fear of being undocumented, the quiet shame of her fractured family, and lands the impossible, a scholarship to UC Santa Cruz. This victory isn't just a letter of acceptance, it's a loud claim, I belong here, I deserve this future. And yet that's only the start of a whole new battle. College isn't a fairy tale for Reyna. It's a jungle where she's the outsider, learning who she is and who she can't be. At UC Santa Cruz, Reyna walks among peers who grew up with privileges she never glimpsed. Lecture halls feel cold, campus culture foreign. She's estranged from her family without familiar support or guidance. Each day is a test of endurance, one where loneliness crowds every corner and belonging feels like a myth. But instead of folding, she doubles down on her writing, hoping it'll lead her home, or at least a place called home. Isolation is a silent predator. Like a vine wrapping tight around a plant stem, choking growth, Reyna feels it squeezing her spirit. But she discovers a secret: loneliness, while dark, can sharpen focus and fuel creativity. Being cut off pushes her deeper into storytelling, not as mere distraction, but as the key to understand and eventually to connect with others. In those university years, Reyna realizes that finding your voice isn't just about speaking, it's about daring to be heard when the world expects silence. She writes essays, stories, poems, each one a crack in the wall built by fear and doubt. By owning her narrative, she transforms from a quiet survivor to a fierce storyteller destined to light the way for others. The real test, turning the dream of writing into a career, a home not just dreamed but lived. Reyna arrives dizzy with possibility, but soon learns talent alone won't cut it. Writing demands deadlines, editors, and relentless revision, things no dream told her about. She navigates workshops at UC Santa Cruz, grappling with craft as much as confidence. Every critique stings, but it sharpens her. The dream is fragile and real, requiring a backbone stronger than fear. Publishers say no, agents send form letters, self-doubt claws at her resolve, yet Reyna fights back with stubbornness tested in her tender years. She recalls early hardships, crossing borders, broken homes, and realizes rejection is just another border to cross. Each no carves room for growth, resilience, and a brighter yes lurking just ahead. Through every setback, Reyna's pain becomes fuel, not a shackle. With each book, she invites readers to witness her journey from silence to voice, from exile to belonging. The payoff? Not just personal glory, but carving a home in the world where past scars turn into beacons for her, her kids, and every immigrant chasing a dream. Remember Reyna on that cold LA floor, clutching her book like a lifeline. Her journey shows us that home isn't just where you're from, it's the story you dare to tell. So next time loneliness or doubt strike, grab your pen or your phone and write one fearless word. That word might just be the door to your own dream called home. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.